Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Abu Zabi Mansour, and I'm going to talk about Shariah Audit. What is Shariah Audit and how it different against internal audit function? So let's start with the definition provided by Bank Negara on Shariah Audit. Shariah Audit refers to a function that provides an independent assessment on the quality and effectiveness of the IFI's internal control, risk management systems, governance processes, as well as the overall compliance of the IFI's operations, business, affairs, and activities with Sharia. Compared against internal audit definition provided by Institute of Internal Auditors, internal auditing is an independent, objective assurance and consulting activity designed to add value and improve an organization operations. It helps an organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of risk management, control, and governance process. If you look at the both definition, both carry similar function except that Sharia audit provides independent assessment on compliance against Sharia requirements. The need to establish Sharia audit function. It is a regulatory requirement as stated in Section 16.3 of Sharia Governance Policy by Bank Negara that IFI must ensure effective management of Sharia risk, which requires the Sharia audit function to be performed on an ongoing basis. On top of regulatory requirements, other benefits of Sharia audit function include to build, maintain, and sustain the trust and confidence of relevant stakeholders and clients, to provide competitive advantage against peers, competitors, and attract more clients, to mitigate risks of consequence on Sharia non-compliant incident. Who should perform Sharia audit function? The senior officer, principally accountable and responsible for internal audit function, should be responsible for Sharia audit, which form part of overall internal audit function of an AFI. On top of the qualification required for internal audit function, the officer should possess the requisite knowledge on Sharia requirements applicable to Islamic financial business. How independent is Sharia audit function? Sharia audit function report direct to the Board Audit Committee and Sharia Committee on Sharia audit matter. How Sharia independent? How Sharia audit different from Sharia review function? In terms of period under coverage, Sharia review is a pre-event. Due to its ongoing in nature, Sharia review undertake regular assessment on day-to-day Sharia compliance status, whereas Sharia audit is a post-event. Due to investigative in nature, Sharia audit undertake investigation on Sharia non-compliant post the incident. In terms of reporting line, Sharia review is a second line of defense and report to management and Sharia committee, whereas Sharia audit is a third line of defense and report to board audit committee. Another point about the difference between Sharia audit and Sharia review function is the approach. Sharia review is internal consultative in nature, whereas Sharia audit investigative, verification, and examination in nature. Due to different approach, the action also different. So Sharia review provide feedback and ask reviewee to rectify the non-compliance to avoid non-recurrence, whereas Sharia audit penalize the auditee for non-compliance. The last point I'm going to talk about the difference between Sharia audit and Sharia review function is the frequency of the assessment. Sharia review conduct regular assessment, which allows timely identification of Sharia non-compliance issues, enables management to address and rectify immediately for onward escalation to the board or Sharia Advisory Committee to avoid larger consequences as a result of late identification and rectification. Whereas Shariah Audit conduct periodic assessment subject to audit cycle, risk assessment, and risk appetite. It normally designed as a formal, structured process based on audit program. What are the latest development of Sharia Audit? It is a trend recently for IFI to outsource the Sharia Audit function to external Sharia Audit firm. External Sharia Audit firm concept was introduced arising from the demand by clients to fulfill the gap of independent assessment from external well-established Sharia Audit programs. How this arrangement benefit IFIs? To strengthen the trust and confidence to management, board Sharia advisor, and public on Sharia compliance status. It's a competitive advantage compared to peers to attract new and retain clients. Ability to tap on well-established Sharia audit program of the external firm, and ability to tap on market intelligence via sharing session by the firm on industry best practice and latest market development. Another latest development on Sharia audit is getting Sharia audit into mainstream. This idea was mooted by Tan Sri Abdul Wahid Omar, non-executive chairman of Bursa Malaysia, in his keynote address during Sharia Audit Conference 2020. He claimed that the demand for Sharia compliant products has raised the importance of Sharia audit to provide independent assurance on compliance with Sharia requirements. How to achieve this? Sharia auditor should be a new profession. Hence, universities should offer relevant courses to produce Sharia auditors that have the required qualifications. And on the regulatory part, the regulator should establish a robust local Sharia audit framework to provide guidance on generally accepted procedures for the performance of Sharia audit.